Hello everyone, and welcome to the e-learning orientation for the Greater Essex County District School Board. The purpose of this orientation is to equip you with the information and tools available so that you can be successful inside your online course, whether that's through our board or through a different school board. So every one of our courses is run through Brightspace by D2L. And so this video will show you how to log into that platform, how to access and navigate through your course, how to participate in a discussion, and then how to submit assignments to your teacher. Then we'll look into some other things like how to email your teacher so that you can communicate with them effectively, how to access your portfolio to add files that you may want in there but you don't want to submit as an assignment yet, how to change your notifications and email forwarding, and how to view your grades and progress in the course. So the first thing we need to know how to do is how to log in. So if you start on the publicboard.ca website, scroll all the way down to the orange icon under the quick links titled Online and Blended Learning Resource Site. Click on that and it should bring you to log in at this Office 365 page. So you're going to have to log in with your student number and password. So this username would be your 8-digit student number. Your password is whatever your password is for school computers or school Wi-Fi, and then click Sign In. Once you click Sign In, you'll be brought into the Brightspace homepage for our school board. This is almost like the hallways of your school. You can see your classes here and here, but there's other things you can do. So in terms of these classroom tools, you may see these as being beneficial to you if you need to use something like Mindomo for mind mapping or creating a Pixton comic. So you can do those right from there. You can also link your Office 365 account to your Brightspace by D2L account, and what that will do is allow you to access your OneDrive files. So if you click sign into your Office 365 account here, you'll have to put in that email address, which is your student number at student.publicboard.ca, and then use your same password that you would use for the school Wi-Fi or computers, and then you'll be able to access OneDrive files and email right through this widget here. If you have questions related to the actual D2L portion of the course, as not necessarily accessing the course or things like that that your teacher can answer, but if it's things where you just can't even log in or you're having difficulty with using D2L in the first place, you can click here, and what will happen is you can chat with the support agent from D2L, and they can either chat with you online, you can email them, or give them a call, and you can see some top questions that students may ask there. Okay, so you've got the Office 365, you've got the support there. If you're taking a course not in our school board, your course will actually be found in this My Courses in Other Boards widget. So you'll see a link that's inside here that says maybe it's, Lambton Kent District School Board, so LKDSB, and the name of your course. So, but that's only if you're taking a course outside of our school board. If it's within our school board, you don't really have to worry about that. So if you are taking a course within our board, there's a couple places where you can go to find your course. The first obvious one would be where it says My Courses. You can see there's a couple courses that are here right now, and you can click on them to get into your course. If you don't see these courses here though, then you may have inadvertently unpinned them, or they maybe never were pinned for you. So you can see here, if I click on these three dots and select Unpin, the course is gone. But you can always get to any of your courses by going up to this little waffle or the 3x3 square icon up here where it says Select a Course. Click that, then you'll see all the different courses that you're in. You'll see a little pin icon here, or so if I click this pin, that course now comes back. Okay, so in order to access your course then, you can either click on these here. So let's say I'm going to go into GLD20, I can do that here, or I can just click right on the image or the name of the course. Now once I'm inside the course, I want to notice that this is actually called my course homepage. So if I ever need to get back to this page, then I'm just going to click on this icon in the nav bar or the navigation bar up here, and it brings me right back to this same page. Okay? Now this page is kind of sectioned off into a few different sections or areas. So this one up here is called the nav bar or the navigation bar. And the purpose of that is to provide you with quick links to things that you're going to be using frequently throughout the course. Now, every teacher can set up their nav bar slightly differently depending on the links that they want you to have access to. So you'll see here that content We're going to go through this in a minute, but content is where you actually go to see your lessons that you need to do. Discussions is where you would perform a discussion post and communicate with students online in a discussion, submitting assignments inside here, and then a link to the class list so that you can email other students in your class or your teacher. Okay, so that's the nav bar. Then you're going to look down here a little bit more and see that there's an announcements widget here as well. Now, some of your teachers might be using announcements, some of them might be using activity feed, but regardless of what it is, this is going to be the place where your teacher can communicate with you. So they're going to post, little welcome messages here. You can put in some images. There's some links inside that you can have access to. So whatever your teacher does inside here, that's going to be their primary way of communicating with the entire class. Some courses may show this content browser, which is basically a quicker way than just looking through this content piece up here. But you can kind of look through and see, okay, well, what does Unit 2 have in it? Nothing yet. But Unit 1, you can see there's Lesson 1 and the assignment number 1. You may also see the calendar here. So if we click on calendar, nothing yet, but this is a summer school course, so you can see in July there are items inside here that you can actually click on and then see what is going on those dates. So you can see all of those things, so the different events for those days, see upcoming events, and basically you can see what your teacher expects you to be doing on those certain days. And then below that is the update section. So inside of updates, there's going to be messages that are sent to you depending on what has been done in the course. So this could be things like this example here, one assignment submission folder that has unread feedback. So I've submitted something, the teacher has assessed it and given me feedback, and now I can go back in and read that feedback. Another thing could be it'll show unread discussion posts. So if you have discussion posts that other people in your class have written and you haven't read them yet, it will show a certain number of discussion posts there. Okay, and you can also access your Office 365 in here as well if your teacher has enabled that. Okay, so that's basically just a quick rundown on the actual course homepage. So now what we're going to do is get into the content section. So to access the lessons or the content inside the course, what you can do is go to either this content browser and kind of look through the different files. So Unit 1, I can see the 3 there, go back home. If there's anything that my teacher has let me see, let's say in course information, I can see all of that, right? Or I can do that through the content section up here in the nav bar. So if I click on content, we're going to get what's called the lessons experience. And you'll see the different units along the side. Now this particular class has restricted the lessons for certain days. So lesson 1 is only available on the first day. Lesson 2 is available on the second day. So you won't see anything aside from lesson 1 right now. But I can see the course information and then student support videos down here. Okay, so if I click on Unit 1 overview, that's going to give me the overview of this unit. I can click on lesson 1, read through the actual lesson here, make sure that I'm doing everything that I can. So if I'm going to check my understanding here, here's a question, click on the answer, right? It gives me a potential answer for that. And then here you can see there's a reflection piece. Now reflections aren't absolutely necessary, but they will help you with your assignment that you're doing and you have to submit. So I would encourage you to do all of the reflections that are inside of these. And you can save them to your portfolio, as I'll show you a little bit later on. Then when we keep going through, okay, so you can see another reflection piece here, a few reflective questions. Once you've gone through the entire the lesson itself, then you can go to the online assignment. Now here it's going to give you instructions for what your assignment actually is, when it's due, where you have to post, whatever it is. This one's actually a discussion. You can see here in step 5 it says go to this discussion section and go to the 16 personalities discussion. We're going to do that in a minute, or just follow this link. So some teachers will put in links to the discussions or to the lessons themselves. Okay, so this is basically how you would navigate through your content. Go to your actual lessons, scroll through. When it asks you to do something, you'll have to either interact or go to the discussions or go to the assignments or whatever you're required to do and submit to your teacher. So let's go to the online assignment number 1 here. And notice, this one was telling us that we're participating in a discussion. So I can simply follow the link to get to that discussion, right? Notice it says 16 personalities discussion, but it also tells me that I can go to the discussion section in the nav bar, which is up here, click on discussions, and then I'll see all the different discussions for the course, and I can just click on the one that I need to do. So you'll see that this discussion is locked and it will only open on July 5th. So if I click on 16 personalities discussion, now I'm in that same place. Okay. Now this is where you'll actually have to post inside your course. So if you need to make your first post, you're going to have to click on Start a New Thread. And when you do that, you have to put in a subject, and then this is the body of what you're actually writing. The subject is just meant to be a short summary. So in this case, I'm going to say my personality. Okay, now my actual written piece of this would be in this body here. So I'm going to type a few things. So, hi, my name is Mr. Gomes, and I have a personality, obviously. A very dry one, as you can tell from this video. But I'm just going to leave it at that. So you can do things like make certain pieces of it bold. You can make certain pieces of it italicized, right, depending on how you want to convey your meaning. You can change certain colors as well. Okay, so you get the idea there. Centering, indenting, bullet points, whatever you want to do, change your font, however you want to do that. But there are a few things that you'll also want to know about in terms of things that you can insert. So down here, you can first of all see that you can add an attachment. Now if I add an attachment, it's just going to show as a file that's attached after. So I'm going to click on upload here, and I'm just going to load in a random file. Let's say that one. I'm going to load in that file here so that you'll end up seeing that there is a link to that file so that you can download it. But a couple other things you can do. You can load in stuff or insert stuff, and you can insert images. So if you want to insert an image, just click on Insert Image, find the image on your computer, click Upload, or you can just drag and drop. I'm going to go to my Images section and put something about e-learning here. You can then say this image is decorative. Click OK, and then you can see the images right inside there with my post. Another nice thing, if you click on this button that says Insert Stuff, you can insert a whack load of other things. So you can insert a YouTube video or a link to some website wherever you want. If you want to embed something, if you've made an interactive piece and want to embed it and know how to do that, you can. You can load in videos from Khan Academy, but my favorite thing is actually using this thing called Video Note. So if I click on Video Note, then it's going to prompt me to record a video. So I may have to click allow in order to allow my computer to use the web browser, to use the microphone and camera. But when I click allow, it's now going to turn on my webcam, and it's going to record a new video. And as you can see here, it's only going to go up to about 3 minutes. So if I click on new recording, then it's going to start recording everything I say, everything I do, and you'll all be able to see that if I post that. So I'm going to stop recording. Then it's going to start recording everything I say, everything I do, and you'll all be able to see that. Right, so you get the idea there. That will then be posted directly into your message as well, so that's called Video Note. If you want to keep that for some reason, then you can always click this little the 3 dots here and then download, and it will download as an MP4 for you or a web movie. So then if you want to insert this video in there, click next. You can give it a title if you want. I'm just going to call mine Mr. G and Mr. G. Click next, and then it should give me a preview. You don't actually have to preview it. You can just click on insert because it's going to be trying to render that video and make it into something that can actually play in there as an embedded video. So then I'm just going to trust that it's going to be there. Okay, if I click post, now what we'll be able to see is my post is, hi, my name is Mr. Gomes and I have a personality. You can see that that's the image I loaded in, and then the video as well. Then it's going to start recording everything I say. And then you can see that there's 2 attached files. The one was the one that I uploaded, the other one is this image. So if you load in an image, it will be there as for download as well. So that's how you can start a discussion thread, but now we'll need to look at how you can reply to one. So to demonstrate this, we're actually going to go back to the course homepage, and from there we're going to demonstrate that the course updates at the bottom. So if I scroll down here, notice, oh look, I have one unread discussion post. Now that's not the post that I've actually just put in there, but someone else has commented on that post now. So let's click on that, and it's going to bring me right into the discussions. So I can now see, oh look, this one is the one where I have not posted yet, or sorry, where I haven't read this post. So I can click inside to the actual discussion forum. I can see this is where the one is that I haven't read it, so I can click on the title to get into that. And then I can see, if I scroll down, what the reply was. Okay, so there was my initial post, then someone else posted, it's me by the way. Great use of all the tools. I love how you inserted a video of yourself. So now, as a student, I can click back, reply if I want to, and now I have a similar type of window where I can type in whatever I'd want. So let's say, thanks. Right, I'm not going to insert anything. Click post, and then you can see how this is now threaded. So the idea of a thread is that you've started the thread, and then people are kind of commenting back and forth to it. So that's basically what you'll need to know how to do in terms of discussions. Now, you will want to pay attention to your teacher when they direct you on how you should be using discussions, because what I'll say is that none of these discussion posts are actually good. Right? You want to actually use paragraphs, you want to be challenging people's ideas, but you don't want to be using slang or even something like this, using all capitals. That's probably a no-no. So just the meaning that it conveys, right? So think about how your meaning would be conveyed through your discussion. And I guess texting would be a great example of that, right? So think about how you would receive a text if someone typed it in a certain way, right? So anyways, that's the discussion aspect. Next, we're going to look into how to submit an assignment. To submit an assignment, the easiest way to do this is always to go right to the assignments folder in the navbar, because there you can see all of the different assignments that your teacher has asked you to submit. Now, when you look here, okay, so I can see Unit 1, I've got this assignment. Unit 2, I've got this assignment. Unit 3, that's my assignment. Okay. Now, other ones will show more assignments, but it really just depends on what your teacher is expecting you to do. So you can see here that I already have some feedback that I have to view. I've submitted one already, but let's say here I want to submit something to my stress poster. So I'm going to click on that actual assignment, and then this window again is going to pop up, right? This editor here where I can type in, I can insert images, I can insert video through Video Note if I want. But one thing that I have to do anytime I'm submitting something to my teacher, I can't just type into here. This is just the comments section. So what I really have to do, notice it says files to submit, and there's a little asterisk there. So you do have to submit a file. So that's either going to be add a file, record audio, or record video. Now if you click on add a file, it's just going to prompt you to add it from multiple locations. So again, this is where if you've set up your OneDrive through Office 365, you can click on OneDrive files and access your OneDrive from here. So in this case, I haven't done it with this account, so I can't access them. But I can access them from my computer. So if I'm using my laptop or something like that, I can either drag files in or I can upload files. Let's say I just want to upload an image. So I can do that. I can upload multiple files as well. So if I want to load in that Word document, I can do those, click add, and you'll see that both of those files are now being uploaded. I can type in comments, or I can add in a video note like I said again, and then I can click submit. Now then, notice here it says file submission successful. That's what we want to see, and you should end up receiving an email to your D2L account, which I'll show you in a couple seconds. So click done, and it brings you back into where you can now see inside the assignments stress poster. There's 2 assignments because you submitted 2 files. Now you don't have any feedback to view yet because your teacher hasn't marked it, but let's change that. I'm going to go back to my home page just so I can see this in the course updates. But if I go back to that home page, you'll notice now that there's actually a message alert here. Well, that's actually a confirmation email. When you submitted that assignment, an email came in that said you submitted it properly. So I'll show you that in a second, but when we scroll down here to the course updates, what you'll notice now is that, oh, there's 2 assignments with unread feedback. So we'll click on those 2 assignment submission folders with unread feedback, and now you can see, oh, a teacher's actually marked this. There's 2 files inside there, and I can click on View, and when I click View, I can look at the files. That's originally what I submitted. And then down here is now the feedback. So my teacher gave me 20 out of 20, and the feedback that they've given says, outstanding work, you are awesome in everything that you do, which is so true. But you'll actually get meaningful feedback from your teachers through here. So you can view that, and then now you can see this one is still bold because I haven't viewed it. So let's go in and view it very quickly. Once I viewed the feedback, great job on this, I like the way you submitted your assignment properly, yada, yada, yada. Now if I go back to my course home, in that update section, I'm not going to see anything, right? Because I have read the feedback. Okay, so that's how you can access your assignments, see what you've submitted, get your feedback from your teacher. And now what we'll actually go into, just because it's a good segue, is this email feature. So message alerts here. If I click on message alerts, you can see that there's this email from about 4 minutes ago. If I click on it, it's just a submission receipt. So what it's going to tell me is that, oh, you've actually submitted your assignment. It was a successful submission. So that's going to be submitted, or that's going to be sent to you every time you submit an assignment, so that you and your teacher have a copy of it, so that you know that you've actually submitted your assignment. Okay, so if you wanted to get into email, right, you can just click up here in this notifications section, and then click on email, and that brings you right into this pane here, where now you can either compose an email, but you will need to know who you're sending it to. So you can kind of search inside here, but to me this isn't necessarily the best way of doing it, but you can email out from here if you put someone's email address in, put in a subject, and then same type of thing. Notice you've got this the same type of editor inside here where you can insert stuff, or you can insert images, you can add attachments and send an email that way. The way that I would suggest you going to email your teacher though would be through the class list. So if I click on class list, then what I can do is I can see whoever my teacher is. I can click on this drop down, and then I can click on send email. Okay? Or if I just click right on their name, it's going to bring up an email that's already being composed to them. So now here I can click on the subject, hi Mr. Lin, and I can type an email in. Hello Mr. Lin, I'm Mr. Gomes. Click send, and that email will now be sent successfully to my teacher. If I want to check on those sent emails, I can click on the message alert again, click on email, and then over on this left hand side you can see the inbox is any messages I've received. The sent mail is going to be messages I've sent out. Okay, so you can see that I have sent out that email. Okay, so that's basically just a quick rundown on email so that you can contact your teacher. So now we'll look into the student portfolio and profile, and then manage some notifications and email forwarding, things like that. Okay, so if you click on your name, notice you are currently probably a faceless person. So you can click on your name and then profile. And if you go into your profile, you can change your picture here. Again, go from my computer, upload a file, or click and drag. I'm just going to make something, I'm going to make this one my profile picture, save and close. And now you should notice that the image icon changes. So that's who I am now. So that's one thing in your profile you can do. You can also add in some more information about you so that your teacher can see it or that other classmates can see it. But you don't have to. That's not really a requirement. But now let's go to my portfolio. So My Portfolio is actually very useful if you're looking to load in things for your teacher that aren't necessarily going into a Dropbox for assignments or for discussions. So when you click on Portfolio, this is going to show you the portfolio for all of the classes that you're in. So if I go into this one, GLD 2.0, now I can click on Add to My Portfolio. And again, this isn't something that your teacher may force you to do, but it's something where you can load in files from wherever you want just so that you can have quick access to them at a later date within D2L. So I can upload from Office 365 or Google Drive if I've connected my accounts, or I can simply just upload a file. So let's say I upload this file, and this one's just going to be an image. Okay, then I can go inside there. That's the image, and I can either type in some thoughts that I have about it. So maybe it's a reflection piece. This is my diagram. It's not actually my diagram, but so that's mine. So and then your teacher can give you feedback on it too if it's something that you want feedback on. So that's one piece in there. I can also add in, let's say, a Word document. So I'm just gonna tap to upload, go to desktop again, and I will load in this Word document. Okay, you can see it's just added in alongside. When I click on it, I can then download it, and I can again give some more just thoughts that I want my teacher to see. So here's my doc. Right, click Add. And then basically that's all the portfolio is. It's something where you can add to your portfolio and continue with that, and you can always access it by clicking on your name up in the top right and going to My Portfolio. You'll then be able to see how many submissions you have in all of your different courses. So I can see that I've collected 2 pieces of evidence here, none in either of these. Okay. There is also an app you can get if you want to use your app to take pictures and record audio on that. But you don't have to. Okay, so let's go back to underneath Portfolio and Profile is this notifications. Now notifications is going to be useful if you want to be notified when certain things happen throughout the course. So contact methods, I can enable email notifications if I want to. So if I enable email notifications, then I'm going to either use my system email or I can use a custom email. So if there are things where someone's contacted me, I can change that to, say, mrgomes@gmail.com and save that in there. Now any notifications that go there are going to be sent to my email address. Okay. I can register my mobile phone number if I want to get text message notifications as well. And then you can decide what you actually want to receive. So for example, if I put in my phone number, then underneath here you'll actually be able to see, well, I'll actually do it here. So register your phone number. I'm in Canada. I'm with Bell. Let's say it's 519-984-1, right? That's probably not a, hopefully that's not a number. So if I save that in there, it's going to ask me to, I'm going to get a text to my phone and get a confirmation code. When I put in that confirmation code, I have to confirm it. I can't obviously do that right now. I'm not going to use my personal one either, so I'll do that later. I'm actually going to remove it. But so what's going to happen then is underneath here you have the ability to choose how often you want summary emails sent. You can either send them daily and you can choose the time. So let's say you want them at, I don't know, 9 a.m. Great, it's going to send you an email or a text message every day at 9 a.m. to give you the updates. Now then inside here you can choose which updates you actually want to subscribe to. So if there is an assignment, right? So let's say assignment that is 2 days away, where the end date is 2 days away, you can get an email about that. If there's something about grades, grade item released or grade item updated, awesome. You can subscribe to those. If there's an announcement that's been posted or activity has been posted, you can subscribe to those. Okay, and then I would probably just I'd keep these 3 things off in terms of past courses because chances are you're not using any past courses. But that's how you can get notified about certain things in your course. Okay, now I'm not going to save this because I don't want any of that information actually being sent to me, but that's one way you can do that through notifications up here, clicking on notifications. Now you can also go to account settings as well. Two more things we're going to cover in here. So account settings, your email, you should have an email inside here already. That is a public board email. Please don't change that, but know that the emails are only going to be kept inside of they're only going to be kept inside of D2L. So but I can forward that email. Okay, now in email, I can change all of these different settings if you want to. Chances are you're not going to do that. But if you click on email over here, you can set a signature and you can also do email forwarding. So right now, your email will be forwarded to your public school address. So that would be your student number at yours should be student.publicboard.ca, and then you can forward that, and so now you'll actually receive those emails inside your Office 365 account, and from that point that email will be inside D2L and inside of Office 365. But the one thing you want to make sure of that you know is that if you receive an email inside D2L and you forward it out somewhere, you cannot respond from that personal email address. You actually have to log back into D2L and email through D2L if that's the way you receive the email. Okay, so you can change your email settings by going into there. You can also change some discussion settings if you want. Chances are you're not going to though, so don't necessarily worry about that for the most part. Okay, so we've gone through profile, your portfolio, notifications, and now your account settings. You can also check off the progress in your course. So if you click on progress, inside this course you can see if you've received any grades, if you've accessed certain content topics, how many posts you've authored in discussions, how many submissions you've had to assignments, and how many are still awaiting grades. If you have to take a quiz, how you can take that quiz, or I guess what grades or score you got on that quiz, and your login history as well. So your teacher can also see all of this. So if you tell them you're logging in and you're not, we can see when you've logged in, how long you've logged in for, how long you've actually been on this page for. So I've only actually visited content for just under 8 minutes. Teachers can see that, so be aware of that. Okay. So lastly, I just want to encourage you to make sure that you're actually talking with your teacher. So if you have a question that you need answered, don't wait on it. Ask your teacher right away. Make sure that you either email them or however they expect you to get in touch with them. Let them know right away, because you don't want to let questions go unanswered. Your teachers are there to support you, and I am here to support you and to support the teachers as well. So if you have an issue, again, your first line of defense would usually be your teacher. Then if you go to your guidance counselor, they can also support you with that. But then if you also need something from me, I can help you as well. So you can feel free to email me at david.gomes@publicboard.ca, and I can hopefully remedy any type of situation that you're dealing with. But again, remember, you're always going to want to talk to your teacher first, and then guidance, and then if there's an issue that they can't support or they need my help with, then we can bring me in. Okay, I hope this was a informative and useful orientation for you. Again, please let anyone know if you do have any questions. Good luck.